Question that I've gotten many, many times through the years has been, Jake, how should I dress to be successful in this industry? What's the appropriate dress for selling websites, SEO, et cetera, software sales? And, there's a lot of ways I could answer that, right? I could say, well, you got to dress, appropriate to the venue, right? The attire of those there, right? You dress to your environment. But the truth is you can never be overdressed. Beyond wearing a tuxedo and a top hat and a monocle or something crazy, you really can't be overdressed. Dressing in a suit and tie, or a business suit, if you're a woman, it's never wrong. It's never, whoa, so-and-so showed up in a suit. Who do they think they are? That professional consultant that showed up here and was well-spoken. I don't want to do business with that one. Nobody is ever going to say that. No one's ever going to think that, okay? However, if you do show up in like a tank top and t-shirt, or a t-shirt and, a pair of flip-flops and some ripped up jeans, people are going to laugh at you potentially. Now, I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that, people should be judged on their clothing or anything like that. However, when you're in a professional setting and you're selling a professional service, there is a level of attire and, dress protocol that you really should strive to achieve. Now, I'm here sitting in my studio. I'm not in a suit and tie. I'm just in a shirt, a t-shirt and a shirt, nothing too crazy, right? That's perfectly fine too. If you're sitting there and you're working at your computer and you're a developer and you're making content and stuff like that, maybe you're even doing webinars, that's okay. People don't expect you to be in a suit and tie, but if you're showing up at people's businesses, or even if you're going on webcam and you're interfacing with professionals in their business setting, it pays to be professional yourself and to dress accordingly. That is my best advice on this. And, part of this really is about dressing for success. If you want to be successful and be taken seriously, take yourself seriously first, right? Before anybody else. You're the first person that needs to take yourself seriously. And part of taking yourself seriously is dressing the part, right? Walk the walk, talk the talk, and then go out there and, do the job. It's important that you do that. Now, I'm not, an advocate of people going overboard because there's a lot of fakes and phonies out there, people who throw on a cheap suit and don't know anything. I think substance matters more than form just about in every case. However, it's important to do this right. You're building an agency, you're heading up an agency, especially if you're the owner of an agency, like most of you are. It's important that you take the time, to hold yourself in high regard and go out there and, put your best foot forward. Now, on that note, I've got a lot of questions from people about, because I wore a lot of suits and ties in my career, wore tons of that stuff for years and years and years. That was the kind of attire that I wore. And people ask me, Jake, where do you shop? How do you, because suits can get very expensive. Let's face it, especially if you're dressing like that every day. One of the things I used to do, and this is just a crazy piece of sort of offbeat advice, I would go and get like used suits and have them tailored to fit me. I would get suits that were like one size too big and then have them cut down to fit me at a tailor. It was the cheapest possible way to get suits made. They were always a custom cut and they always looked great. You don't have to spend a fortune either. You don't have to, wear the latest Armani or, Versace to look professional. And you don't have to have a huge variety of suits either. It's not like you're going to be dressing up like this every day per se. Just take the time to dress appropriately to the venues and the environments that you're going into. Always follow the rule. You can never be overdressed. Hold yourself in high regard. And also what goes hand in hand with this is being well-spoken. One of the things that's a rule of sales is to never stoop to the level of the prospect. If your prospect starts cursing and swearing and stuff like that, you should never stoop to their level and curse and swear yourself. Now, it's okay to make them feel comfortable behaving in that way if you want to, but at the same time, you shouldn't be the person that's dropping F-bombs in a presentation. That should never be you. You should be the person that holds themselves above that. Now, I'm guilty of swearing sometimes myself, especially I'm making videos and things like that. I'm educating, I'm training, So maybe I'm not the best example of that. However, it is true in the sales arena. If you want to be taken seriously, don't curse, don't swear. Always be polite, always be respectful. Be on your best behavior, dress your best, and put your best foot forward. You will be successful with this advice. Anyhow, this is going to conclude this brief little tip of the day. And if you like this video and you want to see more tips like this, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you and your sales experiences. Talk to you in the next vid.